too long. My big cousin Cleve, that's a soul. It used to be so thick in the nose. I'm getting wiser when I'm getting old. It's choke fire, let me get on wood. I run the town, make a nigga know this. I run the show, boy, act like you know, boy. That's my open like a goon, shout out to Po boy. I grew a flow, boy, my shit might touch the flow, boy. I'ma give it to you raw, but in no cut. He got a job at the cleaners cause he fold up. Oh, you that nigga who be talking to troll, huh? I was careless, now I'm so careful. You getting money, they be so jealous. Kobe gon' feel like Machiavelli. I think that rich life more deadly. If y'all make a belly 3, come and get me. Ronda at home, ain't have a leash. If it's over 50K, keep it factory. Now I see all my people mad at me.
Hey, my man, make sure comments up. Make sure the comments
I
up
believe
today.
in God, I believe in right.
Even if they not up, I'm gonna monitor.
I told the Ray I'm about to put it on. They gave my Uncle Cleve too long. My big cousin Cleve, that's a soul. It used to be so thick in the nose. I'm getting wiser when I'm getting old. It's choke fire, let me get on wood. I run the town, make a nigga know this. Hand me the ball, let a nigga snap. I'm dreaming about that money when I take a nap. When I was rested, I hit him with the 357. The other night, I was mad it wasn't real life. I'm trying to grow up so I can blow up. When I get them DLs, I'm doing donuts. Them crackers charge me too much, I ain't got no guts. But when I'm done with that bitch gon' look. Let me tell you where I'm from, niggas get slumped. He laughing when he did it, he murdered for fun. I just asked my kin to roll a fat blunt. I'm writing rhymes in the back, trying to hurry up. I'm reminiscing about them days on them dirty cups. Let my niggas out, fuck a handcuff. I'm trying to stay consistent on my rap mission. I'm trying to buy a Benz with the hat missing. I told my people they won't be waiting long. I told the Ray I'm about to put it on. They gave my Uncle Cleve too long.
All right.
My big cousin Cleve, that's a soul. It used to be so thick in the nose. I'm getting wiser when I'm getting old. It's choke fire, let me get on wood. I run the town, make a nigga know this.
It's straight jar, man, I'm way fired in, but you bitch ass niggas already knew that. Goofy! Ready or not, I'm finna walk in the spot. Slime with me, no snot. Keeping my Glock cocked, ready to pop. Even if it's over some guap, shorty on top. Riding slow, don't stop. Baby, let me see what you got. Hot, hot, yeah, the room getting hot. Got a handcuff, no cop. Niggas was hoping that I fell off, but I bounced back. Would you look at that? If you got an ounce but not making bread, don't say that you trapped. Stop hitting my jack. I'm moving too solid to hang with a square. I hang with a lame or even a rap. I'm with my partners, cooling facts. Blowing the ganja, zoo they smack. And shorty wanna fuck with a real nigga, so I give a real nigga vibes on the high. Niggas
go ahead and start it there.
Fuck it, die slow. Choppers rise, hit him in his face and his thigh, boom. I don't give a fuck type time you want. I don't give a fuck what you guys on. Bitch, I'm grilling them. These rappers know I ain't feeling them, feeling them. Shot rack, I'm drilling them. Headshot, I'm killing them. Pop me a Xan and pop me a perk. Now I'm all up in my zone. She wanna fuck and I wanna fuck, so you know we getting it on. I take off her thong, she giving me domes. And that's how I'm rocking out, bitch. Hey, can you do a split? Motherfucking. I'm gone.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's yours truly, Mufasa Fashaw, coming in live with another episode of Alphacology. And today, I wanted to start off by thanking everybody who's been listening to the podcast on Anchor. I'm working on some YouTube videos soon, and we're gonna continue, my brothers, to be the most alpha male versions of ourselves. I caught a lot of heat these last few weeks for saying the word alpha male. I didn't know it was the derogatory term or whatever, but me being who I am, I want a lot more of my young brothers, my young black men out there to be more alpha male minded, to be more leadership minded, not just out here, I like to call it, doing that low level masculinity rogue stuff all the time. All right. We need to elevate. That's the only way we're going to elevate. We're not going to elevate through being rappers and ball players. We actually have to use our brain and think and plan strategically and build our culture, man. So I felt like these last few weeks, man, I held some things. I was in the Twitter space, and I was just breaking down some things, and a lot of cats, Hold up, real quick. And a lot of cats, were actually, coming at me because they just thought I was just trying to be some big bad wolf. I never been the type to play the big bad wolf. I only had to do it when I really needed to do it. If I feel like I really don't need to, I'm not gonna do that. But one thing I am here to do is teach and let guys know, hey, this is how you supposed to live your life as a man, alpha male, beta male, simp, whatever you want to call it aside. It's a certain way you're supposed to live your life, man. And most of us aren't doing it like that. So we have to get everybody on board in order to shift the culture and actually make something of ourselves, and of our community, because that's where we at right now, especially in the black community. We all could tell it's not working. Whatever we got going on, whatever y'all think culture is, that's not what it's supposed to look like. I'm just telling you, we're supposed to be in a better position than we are. All right. We're still better off than most, but we still at the bottom. And as men, if we want to elevate the black community as a whole, we have to start um, being more leadership minded. Started looking at our fellow man not as an enemy, but as a brother, just like you, who's trying to make it in life and be left to his own devices, no matter what that is. And I go back and forth, and I got a brother on here now, my special guest. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but we still could work together because we know at the end of the day where our heart is, and it's all about your heart, where your heart is. What's your real end goal? I don't do this to become rich or famous. I do this because I want to see minds being sparked. I want to help guys change their lives for the better. All right, men and women. So, and I do it very unorthodox way. I like to call it the alpha male. The study on being the alpha male, being the most alpha version of yourself, basically is being the best man you can freaking be. All right, being the best man you can be. It's self improvement. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna break that down a little bit. Um, Leadership is everything we got, man. So I'll be checking the comments too to see if anybody has anything to say. Uh, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and it will be on the playback on YouTube. All right, so we'll work on that too. Oh, the sound. Hey, he said the sound is off. Is that me? Mike check 1 2. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Yo, I don't know if they can hear me. Ask them if they can hear me. Let me see. I'll figure it out. All right. Let me see. Hold up. I'm finna take this off. Y'all hear me now? All right. So they can hear me. All right. So with that being said, man, we're gonna jump right into it, man, with my leadership. Okay, bet. See, I thought it was my sound. Yeah. So when I first started doing this, you know, I always was taught to be a leader, not a follower, and you don't have to do what everybody think and what everybody says. So everybody create their own lane, especially if it's gonna help better your people. All right. If I'm teaching you how to be the most alpha version of yourself, and I tell you you need to be honest with people and you need to be clear with your intentions and you need to build a legacy. I'm not saying that because I think that's what you should do. I'm saying that because I know that's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? And A lot of people might not agree with my methods on how I bring this knowledge or drop these gems and how I like to call everything alpha. People, hey, if you can't get past that, then listen to somebody else. But whatever I tell you, I really mean it, and I really know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I we need to see more of. We need to see more strong men in our community and helping build a better community as well. And not saying they got to dedicate their lives to building up the community. But sometimes all you got to do, and I tell my boys all the time, I say, if you just become the most alpha version of yourself, you already bettered your community. All right. You start a family, and you keep your family together, you already bettered your community. You raising your kids, you already doing better. You know what I'm saying? I try to touch as many kids as I can through, organizations, through charities, whatever. And sometimes you don't even have to do all that. Sometimes you just gotta let a kid know you care and you give them some knowledge that they need later on in life. I love it when some of my old players I used to coach or my old students come back. I say and say stuff like, "Man, I remember you used to tell me this, that, the other, and I can't do this, but I need to do it this way, and it worked out for me." And that made me feel real good. So that was one of the reasons why I even started a podcast, and it actually has been coming to fruition. So with that being said, I'm gonna always bring somebody in to talk and drop some gems because I don't know everything, man. I keep grinding, I keep growing. I got some good alpha male principles that I'm always gonna give you guys. You know what I'm saying? Find your purpose. That's the best thing. One of the number one things you could do for your black community is find your purpose, gentlemen. Whatever that is. All right. We'll jump into that a little bit deeper. I do have a brother, man. He real talented. He got a book out as a special as a special guest, co-hosting, and we're gonna chop it up a little bit with him. Um, yeah, I met him in a special way. I met bro in a special way, man. And we was in a Twitter space, and they was mad at me. I forgot what night that was. I think it was like a week or two ago. And everybody we was heated. We was arguing about the alpha versus beta thing, and he was just like, "I think an alpha male is this," and I say, "Look, man, whatever you think it is, what are you doing for my people? Where your heart at?" You know what I'm saying? And I know I could hear it in his voice that he had a heart for his people like I did. So and heart for his community. And I was just like, we've been chopping it up, drop a game on each other, man. And that's a beautiful thing. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I told him, I said, "Hey, you don't like me, I don't like you. I can stay in this lane, you can stay in that lane. We can still live and do what we need to do." You know what I'm saying? But he realized like, okay, my delivery, I've been kind of working on that. But I can't dodge that delivery when we go to talking about relationships and stuff. Y'all just not gonna understand. You just gonna have to understand these alpha male principles when we talk about relationships. But when it comes to community and stuff like that, that's very important to me. Almost way more important, like the way you carry yourself as a man. And can I bring him on? Can I bring him on? Yeah, he got it. Yeah. My man, No Justice, No Freedom. That's his Twitter handle too. So y'all go ahead and follow him on Twitter. You know, we gonna chop it up, man. Like I said, talking about uh, alpha male way. I like that. They don't really like that word, brother. But it is what it is because I don't know what happened. So we can't
Can you
go
hear
ahead.
me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just want to say, like you said, this is my first time on Twitter. We typically, kind of like you, we typically put boots on the ground in the community. We've done that for a long time, and we usually use Facebook. But one thing about you and I still don't know you, you know, like a very close friend or a brother would. However, you kind of mentioned this briefly in your opening. Once I really understood where you were coming from, and that it was coming from a place of love and a place of strength and a love for your community and building up these young men, then my whole perspective of what you thought an alpha male was changed. So now every time I read something you post, the word it may not be the way I would word it. However, but now I say, okay, well now I somewhat know this dude from our few interactions, you know, on Twitter. I see what he's going with, and we actually, believe it or not, I mean, we actually agree on more than we disagree when it comes to just being a man. And I don't have a problem with the term alpha male. I think I have a problem with extreme versions of what some folks would call an alpha male. I think
You
that's
know what?
unhealthy.
And we gonna dive into that first, man, because I need to understand like when they represent us. Like this is the first time in history I ever seen we could get in front of a camera and tell our own story and paint our own picture. And that's what my whole message is. I'm gonna redefine what alpha male is right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna redefine and we're going to paint our own picture. We're done letting them paint the picture for us. We're done letting the media paint the pictures for us. Because as you can see, like on BET, what who the big bad wolf is always, they always showing us in a degenerate way. So like I done been across the sea, across the water. I done met people from London. They were just like, "Oh, you're not what we thought you were gonna be." I said, "What you thought I was gonna be?" And they always describe someone goddamn BT. Always. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So
That's
I
true.
feel like a part of this right now, what we're doing is we're branding ourselves. We're painting our own picture now.
And a lot of the when you talk about, I've read quite a few of your posts now. We've exchanged a few, messages back and forth. A lot of the characteristics of what you consider to be an alpha male, I agree with those things. I think we've lost masculinity within our families and our communities. I think
We
we've lost
did.
leadership and strength from men in our communities, and you know, that's why we're fractioned into a million different pieces. If we don't have leaders that can lead, which that's a man's role in the community and in a relationship and just in even leading himself. If we don't have leaders that can lead, and we don't have folks that are willing to follow and have the courage to follow those men who are trying to lead them in the right direction, that's why we got 700 different people going 700 different ways.
Hey, and I can't agree more with that, man, because and we live in the age of all this individuality and stuff like that, and it sucks because we can't get a solid ground off solid foundation of anything. So it's just like, and I always say this: if I go into a relationship, right, I gotta lead. If I step into a classroom, I get a job, I gotta be a leader some way, somehow. Because at the end of the day, let me stop talking with my hands. At the end of the day, um, I'm gonna be you're responsible as a man, you're responsible. Even if you got in a relationship, and like I was telling a young man on the consultation, he was like, "Man, she was crazy, she did this." I said, "Guess what? It's still your fault. You chose to be
Yep.
with her. You know what I'm saying? It's still your fault. You should have seen that red flag and say, All you would have did, and I told him, I said, you might not believe this, but sometimes saying no to certain things, certain women, certain situations, certain gangs, whatever in your community, sometimes saying no is helping people.
Yeah. That's
Sometimes if you
what.
tell somebody no, you're helping them. Like, dang, I gotta tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't the
And
way. I always go ahead.
no, that's a great point. I wish, I'm not going to go into my story, but I wish I would have had true alpha males in my life that would have guided me down the right direction. But I had all these, folks I thought were, strong leaders and alpha males. And they really wasn't that. They really had other things going on they didn't want to talk about or didn't get help
Mm-hmm.
for. And I'm following them down a dead end road. So I wish there would have been more men like that in my life when I was, and that's one thing that inspires me now. We are the same in this sense. I'm certainly not perfect. However, each and every day I wake up, I try to be the best man that I can be in every way. That's all I can
Right,
do.
right.
As long as I know in my heart I'm trying to do that, Even
That's how you sleep at
it's
night.
going to
Yeah,
affect somebody throughout the day.
exactly. Hey, what's up, Nina? Nina said, I agree with the co-host. There are extreme alpha male examples. How about just being men of integrity that gets the job done with way less words? I like that. I really do. But something about if I call my show Men of Integrity versus Alpha Male, trust me, I need to catch everybody ears. You know what I'm saying? And one
Yeah,
thing I know about this, even our community, they magnify um what's that? What's a word for they magnify drama. Let's put drama.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we're addicted to dysfunction and drama.
Yeah, they magnify dysfunction. So when you hear the word alpha male, you automatically think, who is an alpha male? Oh, he must be a big bad gangster, a thug, or
Yep,
somebody who ready to fight somebody all the time. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
I'm really just trying to tell you, hey, I'm comfortable in my masculinity. I'm a man. I'm gonna lead y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Cause alpha males ain't scared to tell the truth. You ain't supposed to be scared. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give them that much. And a lot of us, we sit up here and we prejudge, and then I'm a prime example of that because I know for a fact where my heart is. I don't think I'm a perfect man at all. You know what I'm saying? But when I tell people, yeah, I do this, I that, and they go to rolling their eyes, oh, you think you're alpha male, and roll their, I'm like, all right, hey, if you stay around, you're gonna love it here. You know what I'm saying? You stick around,
Yeah,
you're gonna see, you're gonna see hey, I'm a little brash, but I tell it how it is, but I'll still give somebody the shirt off my back, man. Just,
that's
just
right.
because I can.
You
So
mentioned something earlier about, or we did, or you did. You brought it up how we just jump straight to the negative 9 times out of 10 without really trying to understand the individual or the circumstances, right? Well, here's an example of that, right? I didn't get to comment much because I was at work, but you had that space about polygamy. Um,
we gonna go,
and
hey, we're gonna run that back too. I meant to tell you.
all
we
right,
gonna
maybe I better stay on longer and add more to it than I did last time. But
Yeah, man. The thing about and I want to say y'all because I want to bring more people on the show so we can get more perspective, more dynamics, and I
yeah,
want different perspectives because it was a beautiful thing. Like, bro, we don't have to have the same ideologies, but we still at the same. We at
right.
our foundation, we're still the same. We're gonna
And
grow. We're gonna grow this community. We're gonna be strong, and nobody's gonna split us apart.
that's right.
Even if we,
And that's exactly the message I sent you, right? The the
yep,
greatest thing about that space was the grown folks were trying to understand one another. Even if they didn't agree, they just said, okay, we agree to disagree, but I understand where you're coming from now. But going back to your point about getting straight to the negative, right? I can't remember the brother's name, but he was going in. He was putting some good info out there. But he brought up a good point that I knew of, but I never thought of. Brigham Young had no telling how many wives. He got a university out of it. But when a black man decides to have multiple wives, the first thing we think of is pimping
pimping.
or
Yep.
something of that, or something negative, or taking that angle. And we don't like we just talked about. We don't stop to ask you, okay, well, what is polygamy, or why do you think that it's best for you? And then maybe when you
Yeah.
get that understanding, we don't automatically go to, well, this Jew just think he's a pimp. But it's sad that we go straight to that. But then white folks do it; they get university.
They get a university out of it. And that's what
Yeah,
we was trying to open up people's eyes to different ways of building a community and building certain things. And I brung on like I'm gonna do on this show. I'm gonna bring different people on with opposing viewpoints and we're gonna find middle ground. And that's how we're gonna love each other by that.
yeah,
Or work together. I'm gonna just say love each other. All right. And most of the time when I go to talking about stuff like that, they think, "Oh, you just want multiple wives and threesomes." And no, I ain't never say I wanted any of that. I just could see through a higher frequency how that could build my community back up. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And it's crazy. It's just a solution. Everybody ain't gotta have 3, 4 wives. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I don't have the energy for it.
You feel me? So that's why I was like,
Yeah,
to be a leader, which brings me to my next point. To be a leader, you really have to be open minded and
absolutely.
figure out a lot of ways to get to your goal. Sometimes you can't get to your goal brick by brick. Sometimes you're gonna have to throw some sand right there, right now. And then you got to go over here and get some wood. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to go get some cement or some metal, some plastic sheets to get to your goal. And you can't really do that if you're closed minded. Oh, it's
That's
supposed to be
right.
this way, that way. Like I said, every time I say, who taught you that? Who taught you that you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that? Who really taught you that? Now look at yourself. Does it work for your? Is it working for your community? Is it really working for you?
Yeah. And
No. And the answer is always no.
yeah, you
You know
brought
what
up
I'm
that
saying?
point. Yeah. And life is dynamic. I mean, it's not static. So it's good to have a game plan. You absolutely should have a game plan in relationships and business, your personal life. But like you said, you might have to go off on a tangent sometimes and come back to that game plan. It ain't always gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. And same thing, with me, and I'm sure with yourself as well. A lot of the characteristics of manhood that I thought were healthy characteristics of manhood, I had learned the hard way that that just wasn't it.
Yeah,
Wasn't
I know.
it?
I know about because your first, especially growing up in the hood, your first thing, the first strong masculine man you see is like a gangster, drug dealer, a pimp, something like
Yep.
that. You know what I'm saying? And you
And it's
think
celebrated.
that,
That's the worst part of it.
and it's celebrated. It's by, ooh, it's by design. I don't know. Okay, ESPN. It's by design. You
Your
know,
fantasy team. And I do
man.
them fantasy
Listen,
sports now. We might have
hey,
to get
don't
on
even
that
worry.
sometime.
Hey, don't even worry about that. I'm the fantasy king around here.
All right.
Don't even play with me.
Fantasy alpha,
Hey,
huh?
that's during football season. I do some football episodes, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, we
Um,
won't get off track, but we have to get on that. I do fantasy a little bit. Just a little hobby I have on the side.
hey, hey, that if it bring you peace, my brother, make sure you do it. That's hey,
Yeah.
and that brings me to my next one. You have to have a level of peace to actually be a level-headed leader. Like, because sometimes when you lead, things gonna go astray, go awry. I've been coaching football and I got out there. I forgot what team was playing. They jumped out. It was 14-0, and them boys was like, "What are we gonna do? Relax. Y'all made a few mistakes. Play your game." You know what I'm saying? And I do that with life. I do that. Even while I'm working at it, while I'm doing my career. Like sometimes I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, let me lead myself the right way, and let me do what
Yeah.
I need to do to keep peace in my life. And that's
Did
very
you just say
important.
lead yourself? Did you just say lead yourself?
Yes,
Now
yes,
that
because
now that now
you
see
got
that is some grade A alpha. That might be the greatest alpha one liner in the history of alpha one liners. Because if you can't lead yourself to the bathroom, you can't lead nobody at your job. You can't. Your woman's gonna leave you. Your kids ain't gonna respect you. These folks out in the street ain't gonna respect you. But that's number one. Is you gotta learn to lead yourself before you can lead anybody else.
hey, let
You
me
need to
let me
pin that up instead of the other one. Make the other one the backup pin up
yeah,
on
let
your
me
Twitter.
go. My boy Chevy, he said y'all still lost. No, we won that game, man. Hey.
What do you say?
No, he was talking about some football because we went up. We was down 14-0. He talking about y'all still lost. He just trolling. But yes, like I said, I think that's the first alpha male principle. I think that's my first episode. Self control. You know what I'm saying? I have to worry about that too. You know what I'm saying? I done been in some situations where I could have went off the deep end, but I remembered I had to. I got this going on. I got a calling on my life. I got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? and that is the hardest thing I think to teach me. I'm like, man, self control, leading yourself. That's the first step. And you think when somebody respect you, your first reaction is, how can I line this jaw up to break it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
had that
know,
thought a few
and
times.
it's some cats out there that will go to the ends of the earth to prove their point and get you back off some disrespect. And then now 2 lives are ruined because you either sitting in
Yep.
prison or sitting in the grave. So
That's
what
why
what point?
I don't know if you remember. We talked about. It was a space we were in a week or so ago, and they said, what would you do if your woman or your wife came home and said someone put their hands on them? That's why I said the first thing I'm gonna do is verify it.
Oh yeah, I
My
remember
point
that.
being is I don't want to end up going down for something and I find out it wasn't nothing. But anyway, that's kind of a side
Yeah.
note. But I remember us talking
I,
about that.
I remember that night too, and my response is, I say, yeah, I might not strike now, but I'll strike later.
Yeah,
When nobody,
if it's
we
verified, I'm
all
gonna
different.
take care of my business.
Yeah, yeah, and we're gonna take care of the smart way. I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too, but there's a lot of cats out there that don't lie in wait, like I have the lion on my logo. Man, a
Yeah.
lion will lie and wait for hours to snatch something up and get what they need to get.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lion will lie there and wait for hours. So you got to look at the same time. You got to control yourself. Yeah, he see that food over there. Yeah, we see that food. We finna go get him. No, no, no. Let's wait. Let's set the
Yeah.
trap. Or let's same thing with um being patient with leading and with your goals. I gotta sit there and wait sometimes. Sometimes I want to take off. Like, man, I want to hurry up and do this. I want to hurry up and make this. And
Yeah.
it's worse. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's worse now that we have social media and you see people just posting their success. You don't know how many hours it took to get there. You don't even know if Buddy lying about his success. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You
Five
don't
people
even know.
did a video in the same house in 1 week. It's part of their house.
Yeah, I done seen that. So everybody, like I
Yeah.
talk to young men, oh, I'm depressed. All my friends making money. Are you sure? You sure they mama ain't giving that money? Are you sure that they just you don't know if that's fake money or not? I always say that. Like they had a video of your boy Kodak Black throwing said $100,000 in the water.
Boy,
I
that
don't
was
care.
some buffoonery, wasn't it? I mean, if he really did that, either way,
Nah,
it was buffoonery.
he didn't do that. I
No, he
ain't
didn't do that.
trust me. One thing
But to get on
I
TV
know a
though,
lot of friends who are rappers. They ain't throwing no 100K and no.
yeah.
Don't
But
believe that. Don't
either
believe
way,
that.
it's some buffoonery though, because you're gonna get up. You know our people watching. You know these young men and women are watching. They're gonna think it's half of them are gonna think it's real, and it just. I would say, we know the obvious things over the centuries, but right now, I would say by far that other than the lack of true alpha leadership and manhood in our communities and our families, other than that, I would say by far that YouTube and Twitter. I mean, there are some good things about these platforms, but they have done if they have done great damage to our people and the way we view
Great damage.
success. Because we go out there and act like a clown in the circus, like
Man.
just to make $1, and at some point, I mean, you have to make a decision not to sell your soul or sell your people out.
If you in that entertainment industry, I always tell, and I think that's a part of a leadership we have to do as men is let them know what you're getting into. My father used to always tell me about that. Like I'd get up and like, man, I want to do this. You sure? This what you gotta do. This what you gotta do. And by the time he done talking to me, I'm like, dang, I didn't even think that far. So it's the
Yeah,
same thing with it's the same thing with your boy. I mean, it's the same thing with the rappers and the entertainers. It's gonna come a point where they're gonna have to sell their soul some way, somehow. They're gonna have
yeah,
to sell it. And now they out here doing the buffoonery. Now we out here looking at this boy that a bunch of kids, because it ain't for us. We know better. But it's our job as grown men, as the older men in the community, to let little kids know that's not real. And I think my
yeah.
father did a good job of that when I was
That's true.
younger, watching BET music videos, all that crazy stuff. Like, that ain't real. That ain't what life about. And
And I'm good with entertainment, but like you said, you got to draw the line somewhere, though.
oh no, yeah, I love entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch me
Yeah, I
some
love to
great movies.
laugh.
I'm gonna watch me some John Wick. I'm gonna watch him do a backflip and shoot everybody at the same time. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get that in there. Now, but I know at the end of the day, like, all right, some kids, you know, our offspring, they're influenced by that. So you have to sit down. If you're gonna sit down, you got to break that down. Like, look, this is real life. This ain't. That's Hollywood. Yeah,
yeah,
this could probably happen, but it's more than likely not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, I like to tell my younger boys that I mentor the same thing and say, look, man, yeah, I know you like that car. Do you know how much that car costs? Do you know how much time you have and effort you have to put in to pay for a car like that? How are you gonna make that money? I said, what about if you couldn't rap, sing, or throw a football? How you gonna make your money? And that's the first thing I tell them. I said, what are you gonna be when you grow up? It cannot be actor, politician, or football, basketball player.
podcast. It's Gregory. It's funny you said that, right?
That's the
Because that's
first
one
thing
of
I
my,
asked him.
that is one thing that really upsets me about young men and women in our community, and the majority of it is not their fault because they're still young. However, well, let's just take basketball as an example, right? Because it's in the entertainment field, sports. You ask 100 young men or women, and they say, "I want to be a basketball player." Maybe one or two of them will say, "I want to own the basketball team." And that's that mindset that we need to have. Instead of wanting to be a rapper, I want to own the company.
I want
Instead
to
of
own the
wanting to
team.
be, yeah, instead
That's
of
the
wanting to be a scientist,
that's the alpha
I
way
want to
right
start my
there.
own lab. That's right. That's right. But
That's
see,
the
even you
hey,
might
that's
be
the
making,
alpha way.
yeah, and you
Go
making
ahead.
money, but you still following,
Yeah, you
and you
still
still entertaining
you're
white
the
folks.
employee.
Yep.
You're the employee. You're not the
But it's
employer.
hard to get that flip.
Yeah. See, but we ain't because we haven't we had where we come from. We come from a lower part of the totem pole, which
Yeah, that's true.
everybody's throwing 1,001 distraction at us, and they always magnify the worst of the worst. Like, for example, I'm gonna give you this, and you might not agree, but the whole mishap with the track runner, Shakari Richardson.
Yeah,
There's so many other success stories they could have magnified, but like you said, we are attracted to dysfunction, and
we're addicted to
we addicted to it. Oh, she failed a drug test. Oh, it's because she black. You know how many black athletes in
it. Yeah,
the dang Olympics right now who going to the
yeah,
Olympics? It's not because he trust me. It's not that. It's just the rules of I told I was getting flat because I said, hey, the rules, the rules. You do the crime, you do the time.
no, I agree
Oh,
with you on
Michael
that.
Phelps still swam. And then I was like, if and this is another thing we do. We just say things out of emotions and try to compare and try to look at it's like I don't know how to put it. It's like a pacifier or something like, oh, they racist. Michael Phelps lost a bunch of endorsements, and that was way before the Olympics even started. So the weed was out his system.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. You know what I'm? Nobody's going to demonize the girl, but at the same time, hey, okay, she'll have another opportunity. She tainted her legacy a little bit. Now,
yeah,
where's the parents? Where the people who like, look, we need you, we counting on you. Da 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 da. Don't do this, don't do that. Couldn't couldn't have drunk no Hennessy or something? Like, I understand you going through something, but
yeah,
you still have a legacy to build. And if your mother
yeah,
died, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be happy with you doing this
yeah,
stuff. And I tell my boys who mom died, dad died, or I don't want to play football no more. What would your parents? You want to live for your parents? You living for your mom? Yeah, I'm living for my mom. What your mom want you to do? What would your mama be happy with you not showing up to school right now? Not
yeah,
doing not being the best man you could be? Would your mom be okay then? So you making her turn in her grave because you're not doing what you need to do. Because you sad she not here. Okay, I get it. But you gotta fight through that. It's gonna feel way better mourning your mom lost on top of the podium than somewhere on the sideline. That's how I look at
Yeah.
it. That's just common sense. If we're gonna go by emotions, but I do think as a whole community, we definitely have to teach our younger generation how to control their emotions. And I'm trying to figure out how to tell my boys that. I tell them, yeah, your emotions are important, but not that important. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You having a bad day, you still got to be able to function. Okay.
You know,
Uh,
it's funny you brought that up because I've been thinking there are a few times when I thought about the whole emotion thing and crying since we had the little spaces or whatever. And like kind of what you're talking about as a man, there's nothing wrong with having emotions. It's something wrong when you can't control your emotions.
yes,
That's
that's my whole point.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
that's
mean,
that's, that's my whole
like
point.
I said, if you cry, if you crying every other day because somebody talked to you bad at the job, you, you got you got to get that under control. You know.
Yeah,
So I agree
and
with you on that.
we definitely gotta get that under control because we're talking about building and leading our community the right way. You can't just
Yeah.
be all out here extra emotional or not even just crying, but extra angry because somebody talked to us crazy. I always say the best revenge is success.
That's true.
So you don't even know. Some dudes might like they whole. I remember I forgot what team we was playing. I was in junior college, but this dude just came over there and started fighting our quarterback. Our quarterback was a hothead, and he basically kicked the boy, and they got both of them got kicked out of the game. He lost the game, and I remember after the game, man, because I seen him, he remembered somewhere. I'm like, bro, what? Dang, why you was like? Do you know our quarterback? Like, y'all got beef or something? He was like, no, that's just my job to go in there and piss him off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get him kicked out of the game. That's what the coach wanted me to do. And I'm just like, now that I'm older, I could see that happening. So like even when I'm building my legacy and we leading, it's gonna be people that gonna come in here that ain't got nothing to lose, ain't got like I said, ain't got no playing time to
Yeah.
knock you off the square.
And you
You know
know,
what I'm saying?
even it's just trivial things like, for example, back in the day, you probably experienced this. Somebody stepped on my shoes or something. We be at a club or in the neighborhood or something. I might go off on them and punch them or talk bad to them or do something else over something as simple as them accidentally stepping on my shoe. But now that I'm mature, and I consider myself a true alpha male now, you know, I
Yeah.
guess maybe if they don't apologize, but if someone steps on my shoes, no big. I'm not gonna take a chance of losing my life or taking someone else's life because they stepped on my shoes. But to your point, we do have to, we crying is brought up a lot with alpha males, and betas, this and that. But you brought up a good point. That other side of it, that rage and that frustration and that bitterness, you got to
That's
control
really
that
my
too.
point. That
Yeah,
really be my point. Like, you want to be a crybaby, that's fine, but bro, if most of us ain't gonna cry, we ready
yeah,
to fight. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Most of us, you step on my shoe, I ain't crying. Like, I can't believe you stepped on my shoe. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be like, wipe it
yeah,
off. Like so crazy, so crazy. So
yeah.
now we, it's a whole bunch of disrespect because and I don't like all of that. It's just
And
like
it was trying.
distraction.
I've seen some dudes on a funny side. I've seen some dudes get checked, get down on their knees and wipe off some shit. I wouldn't have done that either. But anyway, that's a side note.
Yeah, that's either here nor there, and I don't look at them dudes as lesser because maybe they're like, hey man, I ain't wake up in the morning to try to have no beef. Like I said though, some cats
Yeah,
will go to the end of the earth, ends of the earth about something called respect and street cred. So
yeah,
therefore, like when you lead it, you gonna run into cats that
yeah,
want to go to the ends of the earth. You got it, because guess what? It ain't my like. I always say this: God ain't send me in your life to mess your life up. He got
yeah,
somebody else for that. I'm not the one. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, just like it's a cat that made somebody wipe off their shoe, trust me, if you run into the right person, it's gonna be body bags. I just
absolutely.
know that. You know what I'm
Over some
saying?
shoes,
Over
over
some
some shoes,
shoes, over some
which is
perceived
facts.
alpha male shit. Like I ain't finna do that.
Yeah,
He stepped on like, dang, all right. Now if you run over, now you spin the block and step on them again, and I'm like, all right, now, all right.
Yeah,
You sure you want to
yeah,
do this some more? All right. You
yeah.
sure
No, that you right. You right. But see, that's that extreme
yeah,
alpha
but
male shit I was talking about, where
yeah,
you
that to
taking
me,
folks' lives and stuff over stepping on your shoes, or they might have
yeah.
said something to
So
you on the
we
basketball
have to
court or something.
raise, and that's what comes to my point. We done been through that. It's gonna
Yeah,
always be little cats like that, but we have to raise the majority of our young men to understand where they're headed in life and not messing
absolutely.
up their life over what I call a nigga moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's a good TV show, The Boondocks. They had that on there, but it's art imitates life, and
Yeah,
I want them to understand. Yeah, it's gonna be some situation where like, man, I feel tried, but you got this going, that going, this, the third, the fourth. Hey, leave it to them. Leave that extra mess to the cats that feel like they ain't got nothing to lose. Trust me.
yeah.
I always say success is the best revenge. Cause the
That's
same
true.
cats that's over there trying to jug at you, you just gonna piss them off even more when you keep winning. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then sometimes they're gonna be like, you can't beat them, join them. Now all of a sudden they in your face smiling. What you want? I done seen that too. And you can't shun those type of dudes. You just gotta be like, look, this is what I did. Boom, boom, boom. I need you. I need your help. Like I be trying to bring everybody in. We
yeah.
could fight later. You know what I'm saying? But let's elevate the whole community and let's have power.
Another thing that bothers me, when you're talking about, making the right choices versus making alpha choices versus ignorant choices, basically is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's almost gotten to the point now, it has been for a while, in many, not all, but many of the poor black communities, like the one you and I grew up in, where if you ain't spend no time in jail or prison, you not a man. If you ain't
Yeah.
if you ain't if you ain't take nobody out, you're not a man. Think about it, and I used to think that way. Think about how sick I was with that.
Man, that's
I mean,
crazy. You
so
got a story, man. You gotta let them know. Like,
yeah. So you
I never
think, to be a man, I gotta lose 20 years of my freedom. That's insanity. That's a sickness. We need to stop glorifying that.
oh yeah, we definitely do. Like, and I told you I grew up in that neighborhood that had a mentality like that. But one thing I did have, I had a strong father, and he told me
Yeah,
that ain't
that's
life.
a good thing. That's a good
Them
thing.
boys who thinking they their manhood is through the streets, you know, they always end up dead or in jail, or at
More
least
often
and
than
the
not.
ones who end up in jail, they got to come out and all right. Some keep put their head on straight like you and take off, and then some stay just on that path and end
Yeah,
up dead or in jail. Again, it's
yeah,
just a
man.
cycle. It's just a cycle. I done you know love my cuz. I done seen my cuz go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And you
saying?
live in proof. You live in proof. I mean, I know you had
Yeah.
other men too, probably, but you live in proof. You had your father was there, and he was the best man. He was the best alpha male he could be, and wanted you to be the same. So you live in proof that it only takes one. I mean, it's good to have a handful, but it only takes one.
It only take one, and guess what? Now, if we all thinking and take the principles of what we're gathering together and share this with the youth, and tell them, hey, you need to focus on being a leader and not a follower.
Yeah.
Hey, them colors ain't gonna get you money. Them colors gonna get you jail and dead. That don't make you a man. Hey, those girls who like those kind of dudes, guess what? Those aren't the top girls. You know what I'm saying? I
No,
tell my boys all the time, those aren't
they
the women
not.
you want. Those aren't. They
No,
don't have the right mentality. They those ain't wives.
no.
Well, not right now. And
Yeah,
maybe a woman will come with the feminine
they
stuff,
might
and
change. Yeah.
they'll lead them that way. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But I tell my boys all the time, that's not what you want. Loud, acting crazy, acting up, talking, gossiping. You don't want all that. Oh,
No.
you lame. I got boys. Oh, she think I'm lame. Why? Oh, cause I went fight. You ain't got to
Yeah.
fight. You ain't no professional fighter. You don't get paid to fight. You not you ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I tell
Yeah,
them all the time. I
yeah.
said, you ain't gotta fight nobody if you ain't getting
No,
paid for it. Hey, you know what I'm
you
saying?
sure
And
don't.
plus, I tell them boys all the time. I said most of them cats can't fight. And a fight gonna
Yeah,
last what 15 seconds. And I tell my
that's
kids,
right.
I said, a fight will last 15 seconds and change your life forever.
Yeah,
You
fighting.
know what I'm saying?
That fighting, that violent, let you defend yourself. Now that I've lived life and you live life, let you defend yourself. Fighting just a bunch of tomfoolery, and it's a waste of time, man.
Waste of time unless I'm in that ring. And then on top of that, when them listen, I took a group of rough and tough. They swear they was the baddest, toughest. I said, all right, go ahead and fight 2 rounds, 6 minutes.
Yeah,
They ain't never had to fight that long because we always used to break it up. I said, ain't nobody break it up. Oh, get back in there. Oh yeah. Now you see what a real fight is. You know.
yeah,
I said, you get in that ring, nobody. I said, to be honest, that ring, nobody can save you there. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You at school or you at jail, the guard gonna break it up soon. But nobody gonna save you. Nobody save you in that ring. You gonna know what it feel like to get whooped. And
Yeah,
I always respecting the man. You know, I respect the crowd for boxing and fight MMA and stuff like that. And those guys could really go, but they don't be walking around here testing everybody. You know
no,
what I'm
because they
saying?
already know what's gonna happen. And not 9 out of 10 men that
Yeah.
they do
And
that to
then
their
they go
folks.
to jail if they use them hands. You
Yeah,
know, so
yeah,
it ain't the same. And so I always tell young men, I say you gotta carry yourself like a brand, like you're important.
yeah.
And I feel like even with the young lady, if somebody would have told her, hey, you're about to be one of the biggest stars in the world, you're important, you cannot do this. Everybody wants to be a king or a queen, but when it's time to do what kings and queens do, they can't
Yeah,
do it.
they
My
don't.
dad said, you want to live like a king, it's certain things you can't do that the peasants can do.
Yeah,
It's certain things the peasants can do that the king and queen can't do. It's
that's
certain
true.
things the king and queen
That's
can
just
do
fact.
that the
Yeah,
peasants can do. So you gotta choose what side you want, what life you want to live. You can't be over here doing degenerate peasant shit and
yeah.
run over here when it's time to be. You can't get the benefits of the king and queen and the benefits of the peasant. You can't do it. You gotta choose a
That's
side.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell my boys that I say you can't choose the streets and athletics. You're not gonna make it.
You
You got
sure
to choose
can.
one or the other.
Yeah,
And that's where I be losing, like I lose some of my best athletes to the streets. And it's just like, bro, if
yeah,
you would have just stayed over here and been lame, I always say that, stay over here and be lame.
yeah.
Because how cool are you if you can't go nowhere in prison? You're a slave.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly
Y'all
what
swear
you are in
y'all hate
prison.
slavery up and down, but y'all steady giving yourselves to the state.
Especially if you're
Like
in prison in the South.
you steady giving yourselves to the state,
Yeah,
working for 30 cents an hour or something crazy. And so that's what I be trying to thwart. You know, I do my best speaking life into the young boys. You know what I'm saying? The older guys too. And I'm just letting you know, like, look, man, let's be honest. That ain't no alpha male. That's just a crazy dude.
yeah,
That's just a crazy dude. And nobody at the end of the day, he can't move nothing. He ain't got no power. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hey, it could be extreme on the other end too. But
Yep.
folks walking around wearing dresses and all kind of crazy, you
That's
know,
another thing.
that's that's
So
that's extreme on
that's
the other end too. That ain't good either.
yeah, man. And I feel like all that stuff is a distraction because
Oh, it is absolutely.
anything that's anti-family, bro, like what is family? You need a man and a woman to produce a child.
Yeah,
You do. I don't understand nothing. Listen, that's what I look for. A black man, black woman. Let's get together. Anything else, good, fine. What you want to do behind closed bedroom doors, that's your business, but you don't have to bring it and project it. I don't. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Even if you was on that, it still shouldn't be a
Shouldn't be
distraction.
celebrated. Shouldn't be out in the
Just
open.
yeah, just move to the side. But I done seen it, I see what they doing with the distractions, with the social media, with the
Yeah,
social engineering. I see what they doing from LBGQT to feminism. It's just like You got to stay focused. You got to almost be indifferent to it. Like, this is my goal right here.
Yeah,
I don't care
absolutely.
what they're doing over there. We gonna stay focused over here because at the end of the day, all those distractions, all those extreme fake, all that street shit, all that extra feminism, LGBTQT, it's all built to stop people that think like me and you. Like, hey, we need to build our culture up.
Absolutely. And you know what I think
We
about
need we
often?
need to make our family stronger.
Absolutely.
That's what distractions for.
What
You
I
know,
think about often is with our with our history in this country and all of the division within our communities, within ourselves, and within our families, and with that lack of that, consistent alpha male role model, those leaders in our community, we've done some great things. Imagine how much greater and how much more excellent we can be as a people if we start, desiring to be alpha males and males that truly want to lead and be strong. If women can understand that that position of submission is a strength and they embrace that, and then we in turn honor that as they follow us and we lead them, man, that we've already done great things, and that's with all the chaos and all the dysfunction. Imagine how much greater we can be as a people, even here in this country, if we would embrace alpha manhood and you know the
yeah,
correct
man.
role that a woman
Embrace
should.
very,
What's that?
yeah, strong family values. We got to, because nothing else worked. We done
Yeah,
did that. We done went the other way.
it
We
sure
done
don't.
danced in dresses. You done danced in dresses. You done shot your guns and they ain't got you nowhere.
Yeah,
Still in poverty. Still low reading levels. You
yep.
tell a young
Relative
black
to the
boy,
rest of the
hey,
nation,
you a leader,
absolutely.
you a king. I bet them reading levels go up. They got
Yeah,
to. Hey, you got work to do. You have a calling on your life. You gonna read that. Hey, put the fire under their butt. Now, oh, you want to wear a dress? Nah, we ain't doing that. Read this book. Read this book. Learn how to do
yeah.
something. you
I know
know,
my.
we ain't.
Now go
I
ahead.
wouldn't even entertain it.
No, no. My
You
wife
know what
asked
I'm
me a
saying?
couple times, not in front of my boys, but she asked me, just out of curiosity, what would you do? I said, we ain't even having that discussion. I I cross that bridge when we get there, but we ain't having that discussion. I'm talking about sex with a female. I ain't gonna talk to him nothing about, you know, you know, being gay. If you decide to do this or that, that ain't gonna come up. I'll handle that when I get to it.
Yep.
So
Right now, we gotta go. We got goals to achieve. We got
yeah,
legacies to build. You know, that's not all of that is distraction. Like, forget all that. Has he done his homework? Okay, whatever. You know,
yeah, he ain't come home and say that yet.
and I and that's another thing too. I do feel like fathers, you gotta take your sons with you wherever. I used to be everywhere with my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have
Sometimes
a
I ain't even want to go. I used to be one of I was mama's boy. I was up on them. I want to stay with mom. You come with me.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
you have a daughter, right?
Yeah,
Well, one of your pictures, I thought you had a daughter, right?
I got two of them.
I don't know
And
if you do this or not, but I take my daughter out on a date like once every couple of months. I mean, I don't,
oh, that's
I
nice.
take her out.
You
You know what I'm
take
saying?
take your daughter out on a date. Yeah,
Because I wanted
that's
to
good
see
stuff.
we dress up. I mean, I don't, we in public, I don't act like, but we dress up. We get sharp. I take her to the movies, take her to a dinner, open doors for her. Do everything Alpha Male's supposed to do for her. So hopefully, you know, she'll she'll see what's going on if somebody
Exactly.
come with that bullshit and then no, this
Yeah.
this ain't how my daddy did it, so you ain't the right one.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
can always tell, and I hate to tell, tell women this all the time. You can always tell who daddy treated them a certain way and who daddy was in their life. You can always tell. You can
yeah,
always tell. You can always tell what kind of woman you're dealing with, and if her dad was there. You can always
yeah,
tell. Now, once they get a little bit older, it's a little bit harder. But the
yeah.
younger generation, oh man, like if they under the age of 27, 28, you could definitely tell. Like
And see, even something like
listen,
that, right? When
hmm?
you talk about being alpha male, right? You specifically. And I understand some of the things you do is to draw attention to the issue, which is fine. But even things like me taking my daughter out to show her how a man should treat her, right? Well, some people will say, well, that's soft or that's not alpha. No, that's 100% alpha, brother.
Well,
When I'm
first of
showing,
all,
yeah,
I like taking women out and I like taking women out who love me. And I'm pretty sure
yeah,
my daughter loved me
absolutely,
unconditionally. Matter of
absolutely,
fact, I always tell a man, I say, you got daughters, them the only women, your mama and them two little girls I got, I know for a fact, them the only women that's gonna love me no matter what I do.
yeah,
You
that's right, that's right,
know what I'm saying? So of course I'm gonna take them out and then whatever you want, cause I know for a fact they're gonna love and appreciate me for whatever
yeah.
I do. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
it's
that's your
not that,
seed.
with you being an alpha male, me being an alpha male, and real alpha males out there, like I said, they're quick to jump to, well, you use the word alpha, so you don't respect women. Just automatically, that's one of the first things they think. No, it's not that. I respect the right women, and I ignore the women that are wasting my time.
Exactly. And
I don't have time to
they
deal with
still
people like that.
in a lot of cats and I tell dudes that all the time. I said, listen, don't waste your time going back and forth with low level females. That's what I call them, low level women.
Yeah,
And like even, if they promiscuous or whatever, they being hoes, I still respect all women. But you're not gonna get the same reverence
yeah,
as you would my mother, my sister, women that was there for me in my life that added value to my life. No way. I'm not gonna treat you like that.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
That's just
said,
being real.
it's been, hey, baby girl, it was nice meeting you. I gotta go. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
I'm not gonna sit
That's
up here
it.
and change you. I'm not gonna sit up here. No, we got things to do. We got a
Yeah,
community. And we not gonna. And I tell, that's another thing. Mm, you know what I'm about to say? That's a downfall for a lot of men. The women that they entertain. And when you
absolutely.
leave,
Oh, Jezebel.
you cannot entertain certain type of women.
That's true.
That's a whole different topic for a whole different
Yeah,
day, though.
it sure is.
You be like, what certain type of women? Now we gotta go
Hey,
right.
that's a
Now we gotta
5 lane
debate
highway.
and argue and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a good little time doing that. But at the same time, we know I just call them Jezebels.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the
I just
Jezebel
call them.
spirit.
I just
I believe in that.
yeah, Delilahs, the ones that want to
Yeah,
know everything just to get that, just to get you to take a L. Like I always talk about, especially on mine. Like I said, on my show, because I'm very much biblically based, but I like those old Bible stories like Samson and Delilah, where Delilah and Samson they pillow talking. That's what I call it.
yeah,
He finally told her the secret, and she just flipped it on him. And I'm like, listen, that was some beta stuff that he did. He was out here
yeah,
slipping. You know what I'm saying? Not
yeah.
saying
That's
that
true.
he wasn't the strongest bat, and he was still the strongest, baddest muff in the land, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
that
But
one
he had,
act was a beta
he,
act right there.
yeah, he had a
Yeah,
purpose in life, and he turned his back on his purpose.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? God gave him a rule, and he broke that rule, and he was punished for
Yeah,
it. And like I always say, I said the devil ain't gonna show up to your house with a pitchfork and horn sticking out the head.
no,
Nah, nah, nah. The devil gonna show up
that'd be too
pretty
easy.
face, sweet, thick, all that, big old booty. All that. You
Yeah.
know that how the devil show up. He ain't gonna show up, player. He ain't
Hey,
gonna
but
show up.
the opposite. Yeah, the opposite is true though. We say this all the time, but many of them don't listen. Those women need to stop choosing these low level men also, and they'd have a whole nother respect for a true alpha male who's truly trying to be the
That's
best
why
man he can be.
when I first
They
started
don't
my
listen.
class, I was like, man, this show ain't for women. Women don't need to listen to this. And I was like, nah, y'all need to listen because y'all be choosing the worst dudes and then be trying to take it out on me because y'all thought you
Yeah,
was an alpha male. And I call myself an alpha male. So you think me and dude the same. No, we not.
that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? We are not the same. And
They with the pimp who called himself an alpha male who was truly pimping or thought he was anyway, And so
Yeah.
now in their mind, they think you a pimp just because you say I'm an alpha male. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right
yeah.
about
So,
that.
and I tell dudes all the time, I tell them, I say, listen, I done been in that situation where I wanted to be player of the year, have 6, 7 females, and I tell them, and I tell my boys on my podcast, I say, you're with 6, 7 women, and you're getting the same thing out of all those women. That's
Yeah,
counterproductive.
yeah,
Why would you do that?
that's true.
You
There's
getting
some
the
practicality
same
to that.
thing. You finna go to her house.
Yeah,
What y'all finna do? Oh, we finna get it on. Oh, you going to the next one house. What y'all finna do? We finna get it on. I'm like, bruh, by the
now I
time you
also say that.
done with your
Yeah,
rotation, you're gonna look like Skeletor because all your testosterone.
you, you're gonna be empty, huh?
You're gonna be empty. You're gonna look out here
Yeah,
looking like a crackhead.
yeah.
And then you're gonna
You,
wonder where your next meal come from. Now you got the itchy scratchy. You trying to figure out who gave you the itchy
yeah.
scratchy. You know what
I,
I'm saying? Like you
yeah,
don't want to be in those situations like that. So that's why it's and I always call it a curse of Solomon. Like he had all those wives,
yeah.
and that's how he fell as well. You don't want to invite all this feminine energy. I hate to say, it's way more Jezebels than there are wives.
Yeah.
So if you got 7 women, be like, yeah, they all wifey material. No, they not. You're gonna find out real soon. And I always say this: you gonna find out how much a woman love you and how she gonna how a woman really gonna treat you when she mad at you anyway. I
Yeah,
always say that. Once she mad
absolutely.
at you, once she mad at you, you gonna find out what kind of woman you really got. You gonna find out if she really respects you.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
gonna
what I'm
find out the
saying?
first 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds, once she really get pissed off with you. But I am not advocating y'all go out there, fellas, to piss off y'all girlfriends. Just don't do that.
No, don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Not on
Please.
purpose.
Not on purpose. But when you do, if you can tell she mad, got an attitude, just sit back and see how she treats you. That's gonna let you know if that's your
Yeah,
wife. That's gonna let you know quick.
that's a
So
good point.
I done got my heart broke plenty of times, and they be like, I never cheated on you. I'm like, man, you broke my heart just because the way you treated me. I thought you was be different, but
Yeah,
well, we definitely gonna invite you back on, bro. We're gonna chop it up about like relationships and building the strong bonds in the relationship because I feel like no, I know for a fact that's been missing in our community, and we gotta start really having those conversations again. And we really have to start having these conversations about how we're going to build up our culture in
yeah,
America. Because if we don't do it, the media, who is not ran by us, who is not ran by black men, are going to paint a picture and show us to the world how they want us to be seen. And if you don't think that plays a big part, you're totally wrong. Because I was very upset when we heard that these people from overseas thought I was a certain way because I like to wear hats and shades.
yeah,
Me personally, I like shiny stuff, so I like wearing gold. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But that don't mean I'm gonna get in the booth and rap. Don't mean I'm finna go out there and dance or shoot, be in a music video with a bunch of guns. All right, we all got guns. I think that's a Florida thing, but
Hey, is that simp juice? What shirt you got on,
I
man?
got a
You
Slim
let
Juice
me.
shirt on. Y'all
What
go
did it
ahead
say?
and cop that alphacology.com.
Yeah, I saw you said you going. I don't know, man. You gotta be docked at least half a point for that, man. Come on, baby.
I I stay out. I ain't even wear the alpha shirt yet.
Oh yeah, the alpha shirt. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
target. That's a
We
target
just
right
docked you
there.
half a point. But
Uh,
you got plenty. You got plenty of points in the bank. We just dock you half a point. With the
yeah. So,
your alpha
oh, on
membership.
the back, on the back of the shirt, it say you can't really see it unless I
Yeah,
made it like this on purpose. The back of the shirt is black on black, but it's got the words Alpha Male
yeah.
Lifestyle. And if
I like that
and, I,
logo you got though for your Alphacology. I do like that. That's strong.
and I'm going to explain. You know what? Let me break that down. My logo real quick. I'm gonna do it on the podcast as well. The logo is calls for it's almost like we like to call it yin and yang, but we all have a good side and a bad side. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And I
yeah,
feel like chain. Be free. You know what I'm saying? That's why the lion has a chain in his mouth. That stands for opening, breaking your mind free from being
Oh, that's
programmed
strong.
from
That's strong.
society. You know what I'm saying? And the half dark side and the light side, that's for duality. All right.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I always say this. God created everything. So that devil you speak of, the demons you speak of, God created that.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
gotta choose what side you want to be on. You know what side he like already. We already know that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But all have to, and it's hard because guess what? Something can be presented to you as the light when it's really the dark. You know, but we gonna that's too. I don't want to go too deep. I just know that was my logo. It was stuck in my head for a couple of days, and I was like, yeah, this is it right here. You
Yeah,
know,
that logo is right.
yeah. So it's a lion with a broken chain in his mouth, and that's basically that alpha male lion breaking everybody free. The ones who want to be free. Some of them still gonna stay
Yeah.
there. Can't save everybody. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying?
Well, you know, it's like I always say, and it's a common term, but if you just like you said, we want to save everybody, but if you just impact one young man's life, that's enough.
Yeah, we all
Well, I should
impact.
say that's enough. It's a
Yeah,
blessing. I should say.
it's
Yeah.
a blessing. And I do that. It brings, yeah, it brings some tears in my eyes when they call me and be like, "Man, you helped change my life." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
You be like, wait, what? Oh, for real? Hey, appreciate it. Then I'm like, oh man. Then I look up. I'm like, man, I ain't doing a podcast in about 3 days. I'm slacking. You know
Yeah. Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, but I'm trying to get my levels up. As I keep grinding, I keep growing. As a man, I might come and redo some old episodes because I have a better understanding about certain things in life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I always learning. I'm gonna keep teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Got
You
to. The
keep.
pyramids wasn't built in one day.
I know that. It took. I'm not in. I know I'm not in my final form. You're not in your final form. We just gotta keep grinding and growing. And
Absolutely.
with that
I'm
being
on break
said,
one.
yeah, we were only supposed to go for an hour. We went over 12 minutes, man. Tell the people how you could, how they could reach you, man. What you got going on before we get out of here.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, basically, long story short, the Twitter handle is no justice, no FRE1, or I've got a Facebook group, No Justice, No Freedom, and basically we have collaborated with several groups in the Fort Worth, Texas area, Dallas Fort Worth area, to provide resources for anyone who has suffered from any injustice. But our primary thrust is um, trying to move the city of Fort Worth in Texas to finally, give us a comprehensive justice in the form of reparations package for our ancestors.
Ooh,
Yeah.
reparations. You said the R word.
Well, you got to call it. We call it justice. So we need to stop calling it reparations because that's not what it is.
Okay,
When you
bet.
reframe it as justice, we reframe it as justice. That's what it really is.
Okay.
So that's
All
another
right. Look,
discussion, though. So we can have that one of these days.
yeah, man. I think you should get on wax sometime and try. I feel like you one of them brother. You need to start your own podcast. Not telling you can't come on mine. You
Yeah,
need to start your own so we can get that perspective and get what you got going on wax. So because the right people hear it. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely,
We on another
absolutely.
level. So with that being said, man, I appreciate you for coming. Y'all check us out Twitter. Y'all know my handles, Facebook, everything. We will be back here next week, Tuesday, hopefully 8 o'clock. You know, we were kind of late, colorful time.
Yeah.
We were kind of
Hey,
late.
if y'all see him wearing an alpha shirt, you gotta give him a hard time though.
Oh yeah. Hey, I want that shirt though. I gotta catch somebody in that shirt. But
Yeah,
with that being said, like I always say, man, this is no tea. This is protein. We're gonna build each other up. We're gonna keep being the most alpha versions of ourselves. Peace out. All right. I gotta play the music. My music don't work, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me see if my music work.